I do is just enjoying this moments of cooking. I like doing this, and I like seeing people like love this food, or when they tell me, Rasha, oh, this is very nice, and this is the best thing. I just forget all the tough moments that I had.
Today on Dirty Linen, we are heading to Sydney with a little dose of Syria with Racha Abou Alchamat, who runs Racha's Syrian Kitchen, a catering company that's had to be a little bit flexible in these interesting times we live in. I haven't met Racha in person, but I have felt the love that she puts into her food by eating her beautiful mamouls, biscuits that we will learn more about during this chat. Racha, welcome to Dirty Linen.
Hi, Dani. How are you? Thank you so much for this interview. I'm very excited and looking forward to speak a little bit about my Syrian food and the journey that I have done from coming from Syria to Sydney. Thank you.
Well, thank you. It's a privilege for me, and I know that the listeners are going to love it. So where shall we start? Why don't we start, back in Syria? Tell us about your life. Tell us about your life as a child, and of course the difficult journey that's brought you to Sydney.
Yeah. Okay, I will. Actually, I was raised in Saudi Arabia first. I lived there since till the high school finished. Then, because my father was working in Saudi Arabia and he's a chef, so he's my first inspiration. I learned a lot from him. Then we had to move to Syria for a while. We lived there. Then I got married to my Syrian friend in the college and went with him to Dubai. So I lived there for also a long time in Dubai. Then my husband got a job opportunity for a job in Sydney. So this is when we have decided that we want to move there because of the situation in Syria and the war. So we thought that it's a good opportunity to start new life in a new place somewhere else.
So when was it that you guys arrived in Sydney?
2014. We have arrived here, and actually I was the ordinary mom cooking at home, like cooking and enjoy being around people who cook, and I like food. But the way we were raised in Syria, because even though we were in Saudi Arabia for a while, but we used to go during summer vacation, we used to go to Syria and gather with all the family. My father is one of 10 sisters and brothers. So imagine in the summertime in my grandpa's house, when they used to gather all in one table, like 50, 40 sometimes, parents and kids around one table with lots of food. So this is how I have this picture all the time in my head.
Yeah, look, I mean, I love that picture. So often when we think about, life in Syria and, think about Damascus and, the impression from Australia is about conflict and about destruction and, all the hard things about life in Syria. But I think it's so important also to remember that this is an incredibly rich culture with, so much good stuff that's always happening as well. I mean, tell us about Syrian food culture. What are the keys to it?
So we have like the nice thing about the food in Syria is that it's like the variety of food, and of course everything is cooked from scratch and it takes time, so you put lots of love in this process, and it takes really long time to do one meal for the people who are sitting with you, even the small family. Like even if I'm cooking for my husband and my two kids, it's still not like, okay, I will grill some steaks and that's it. No, it has to be a stew with the rice and vegetables, lamb, whatever. And so this is the thing. This is why I think people, when they taste my food here, they feel that there is something different. It takes a lot of time to do it, the preparation, and then you feel that really there is love when you do this. And the memory, of course, when I just try to remember my father there while he's sitting in the kitchen cooking for so many people. This is the thing about it. So we have different kind of, like for breakfast, for example, we put lots of cheese and yogurt. We do kinds of the most popular now thing here that I do and people like is called fette. So fette is basically crispy bread with tahini sauce, and then between these two things you have so many things to put, either chickpeas, eggplant, lamb, chicken, rice. So this meal, for example, we do it especially on Friday after people go to prayer and they come back. So the family sit together and they have this meal. It's like a relaxing day for us. So I think everything in Syria, like go around food. So wherever you just go, you go to shopping, walking, you will find something to eat, either like while you are walking or if you want to sit. And all Damascus, of course, in Syria has lots of these new like cafes, which you just sit and have something like falafel or chickpeas or the nice memory now is coming to my head. Yes.
I think, sometimes at this distance, we think about Middle Eastern food as quite homogenous. It's just one thing. It all gets lumped in together. But I'd love you to talk about some of the particularities of Syrian food. And one dish, perhaps we could do it through the lens of baba ganoush or your eggplant. Can you talk about the Syrian version of this beautiful dish?
Yes. So, this one actually is a very nice and tasty. I love it. And the thing that when I came to Sydney, the baba ganoush is different from what we have in Syria, because baba ganoush here has the tahini sauce and the eggplant, which is roasted. But in Syria, we roast the eggplant, then we add bell pepper to it, like colored bell pepper, onions, garlic, olive oil, pomegranate molasses and lemon, all come together with walnuts and of course lots of olive oil. And this is the best thing about it. All of them come together, and imagine this fresh kind of dip or appetizer. You can have it every day, all the time.
I honestly need it in the next 5 minutes. It just, I'm so hungry listening to you talk about it.
Yeah, maybe you can come one day and we can enjoy doing it together, baby, if you like.
Definitely. So, Racha, I mean, obviously it's, a very rich food culture, and you had those other periods of living in different countries in the Middle East. Like, tell me about coming to Sydney. How was it arriving here? What were your first impressions?
Of course, the first thing that comes to me is like Sydney is very beautiful. I love the city. It's very similar to Syria, the nature, the weather, like you feel it's not so like it's not complicated life here. It's easy. Even it's easier than Dubai, and living in Dubai. I lived in Dubai for around 8 years or more. So this is the best thing I loved about it. But the thing that I was like, when I started to look and search for Middle Eastern food, I couldn't find something very similar to what we have in Syria. So I started to look, and then I found that only Middle Eastern food is known here as kebab, hummus, tabbouleh, falafel, that's it. But no cooking, like no proper meals that people know about Australian doesn't know about them, or so this is how I started to think about doing something in cooking or take it as a business. Other than this, I enjoy being here.
And so, yeah, I mean, it's interesting that you saw this, I suppose, a gap in the market and the idea came to you for a business. Can you talk about how you started Racha's Syrian Kitchen? Well, yeah, how did that begin and what were your ambitions for it?
When I started at the beginning, I live in an area which, so I have two kids. My two kids, when I came here, they were in year 3 and kindy. So in their public school, they have yearly events, which is the Moon Festival event. So they usually do fundraising. So parents can cook and have a stall there and just introduce their food or their culture. So this is the first thing that I had to try. I thought, okay, why not? It was only just for having fun and just to introduce this food to different people from different cultures. Then I was surprised that everyone loved this food. And the principal there started to support me in the school and started to tell the teachers just to why not to buy a prepared meal from here. Then I started doing this and I got my first big event with this school. Actually, it was for Northern Territory schools. All the teachers and principal came at this day. It was 150 teachers, and this was the biggest event that I had at this time.
That's a big step up, Racha. My goodness.
Yes. From small meals to 150.
What kitchen did you use?
We had the kitchen of Mulberry Public School. So the event was there, and we had to prepare everything there. And this is the first time that I have worked with my business partner. His name is Nidal. So we work together since that time. I knew him from here through a Facebook cooking page. I knew him and his wife. Then he told me that he used to he worked in the same field. So when I got this, yes, he is Syrian. So when I had this opportunity, I told him, if you do this with me, I will take it. But if not, it's too much for me. I don't think I can do it alone. So he said, okay, let's do it together. And this is how we started the journey, actually, from there. Then we had some events for example, we had wedding, we had some parties. So people started to know more about us.
And so what year was it that you did this first big event?
Around 2016, I think, 16 or 17, something like this at the end. Yes. Yeah.
So you had a bit of momentum before the pandemic changed everything.
Yes, of course,
okay.
which was nice. And really the thing that I do is just enjoying this moments of cooking. I like doing this, and I like seeing people love this food, or when they tell me, Racha, oh, this is very nice, and this is the best thing. I just forget all the tough moments that I had, all the 3 days, which are hardworking, because really our food needs lots of preparation. It has all of the ingredients are fresh. All the ingredients had to be cooked in the same day or one day before. That's it. So no frozen food, no nothing. It's just fresh. That's it.
Tell us about your mamoul, because I know these biscuits are very traditional and they are something that you're able to transport. It was a very exciting day when I knew they were going to arrive on my doorstep. Tell us about these beautiful biscuits.
Yeah. So mamoul is very special in Syria, or I think in the Middle East too, because we have it in of course, we have it all the year around, but we have it in a special occasions after Ramadan. After we like fasting in Ramadan, we break our fast and we have the Eid. Eid is like Christmas, and so we celebrate in these. We have 3 days after Ramadan to celebrate the Eid, and during this time we do the ma'moul. So the nice thing about it, if you are in Damascus or in Syria, you can smell in these 3 days. Imagine the amount of baking that every house and shop is doing to do this ma'moul. And because we put it in our house so people can come and celebrate with us the Eid days. So this is how it's very, very special. But here we thought also, why not just to try and like introduce it to people that doesn't know anything about the ma'moul. It's different from the biscuits, and it has long process also. It takes lots of time, and it has special kind of mold that you do the ma'moul in.
Tell me what's in the ma'moul. Tell us the ingredients.
Yes, so the basic 3 ingredients, of course, it's separate. So everyone has separate thing. One with the dates, and one with walnuts, one with pistachio. So, of course, it has some spices in it, and it has to be done with the ghee, not butter, not oil, not anything. It's only ghee, which a good ghee also. So, do you know ghee?
Yeah, so clarified butter, right? So
yes. So it has to be done with a very good ghee to have this flavor and this taste, and the even when you smell it, you find it's very different, right?
Totally. You open the box and it's just like this atmosphere that envelops you, and they're just beautiful. And I mean, you've talked about the special mold, but if people haven't seen them, it's very beautiful because the mold has got these sort of patterns in it. So when you press the biscuits into it, they have these beautiful swirls and scrolls, and not all the same either. There's a few different designs. They're just very beautiful.
Yeah, and all of them are handmade. These molds are handmade in Syria. So you go to it's like special shops and you buy these sizes or shapes. So it has lots of different sizes. Even like they have big brown biscuits. So yes.
It's such a beautiful, I didn't know that they were all handmade, and it's just makes me feel even more excited about the biscuits because it's such a direct connection back to Syrian culture, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Like people, of course, buy from shops in Syria, but most of the time, Eid time is about doing this ma'moul at home with lots of people from the family. So this is the memory about it. Like when you see everyone is gathering around the table doing his job and then baking everything. So imagine this.
It just sounds really festive, like a real celebration.
Yeah. Of course, my business partner has like, this is his recipe, and we are doing it together because he's very good in doing pastries and sweets, desserts.
So, Racha, I know that you're doing a cooking class that's coming up soon, and I'd love to just acknowledge Marjorie from Welcome Merchant, this fantastic organisation that shines a light on refugee-powered businesses. Tell us about the cooking class. What are you doing there, and what do you love about teaching people your food?
So our cooking class is going to be on the 2nd of March, and it's going to be about fatteh. I was talking with you about this dish before. So the nice thing about this dish that everyone likes it, and everyone can find something different in fatteh to do. So fatteh can be vegetarian, could be with tomato sauce, could be with lamb stock, could be with chicken, rice, anything. So the basic things about it is the crispy bread and tahini sauce, and between these two things we can add so many different kind of things, and really now it's very popular and people likes it. So this is why we thought it's nice to just teach people how to do it.
Oh, it sounds so good. So do you have all the different elements there and people can decide what they want to put in their own fete?
Yeah, we will, because of course of the time, we will try to choose two basic things. So we'll do eggplant fete. This is with tomato sauce, and then we'll do we can add the minced beef or lamb, or we can do the chickpea fete, which is totally vegetarian and it doesn't have tomato sauce. So they will have the two options of these two kind of dishes to try it. So basically it's going to be, three different things. One with the meat or beef, and one with the chickpeas.
I don't know if it's audible on this microphone, but my tummy is literally rumbling.
Oh.
Like it's just sounds so good.
Why don't you come to the class?
Yeah, checks flights to Sydney.
Maybe, try the fete.
So Racha, what do you like about sharing your food and your culture?
I want to show how our culture really is very rich, and the most important thing when I came here and started to do these things, just to show people that Syrian people have so many nice things to show and they are talented. During the war, so many views changes and people start to think so many things about maybe refugees or immigrants. For me, my business partner came as a refugee and I came as an immigrant with my husband because he got a job here. So I just wanted to show how Syrian people can do so many nice things, and they are educated, they are talented, they can communicate with different people in different cultures. When I do my food and when I do my events and serve the food in homes or anywhere else, my thing is not, I don't want to bring the food, put it on the table and go. No, I want to introduce my food to people. I want to speak with them, even if it's I do it for free, I don't mind. But I just want people to know more about the food and how can they eat it, and what are the different flavors, how this is connected to our culture. I love to see the smile after they finish eating. So this is what makes me really very happy.
So good. I'm sure everybody in the room is going to be so happy, Racha. Look, it's been amazing to talk to you today. I really appreciate your generosity in sharing your story and making me so ridiculously hungry that I'm not sure how I'm going to cope once I get off this call. Hopefully I get to eat your food in person one day.
If you want to come, now we can have something together.
Yeah, I really do.
Yeah, really, I want you to try the Syrian food. We have to do it one day together, okay?
We definitely have to do it. I look forward to it. But this has been good too. Thank you so much for sharing your story today.
Thank you so much, Dani. Thank you.
This is Dirty Linen, and I'm Dani Valent. We air the issues that the hospitality industry finds hard to talk about, hearing from different people with unique perspectives. We want to hear from you as well. If you have something that needs to be said about a topic, get in touch so we can include your perspective. Contact us at dirtylinenat.deepintheweeds.com.au or hit us up on Insta at Dirty Linen Podcast. We can't wait to hear from you.
This